Hey, I have a question for you. Would you rather struggle or would you rather set yourself up for success? Kind of a no-brainer, right? Okay, so you can actually manipulate your environment to make it easier to succeed, to get what you want, to reach your goals. Or you can fight against things in your environments that make it harder for you to get where you want to go. What are environments? We're going to talk more about that in just a moment and about how you can use them to set you up for success instead of struggle. Hi, I'm Jen Kunkel. I'm the creator of the Wild Worth method that empowers you to stop feeling insignificant and instead unleash your wild savvy self. The wild savvy self who knows who you are, what you stand for, what you want, and who is building the confidence day by day to boldly step into the juicy life you crave. That's the Wild Worth method, and when you have a system like that, it makes it so much easier. Today we are talking about how to set up your environments to pull you towards success rather than pushing back against you. I had a situation earlier this year. I was feeling like I was unfocused. I decided that I was going to make a change in my physical environment for just a couple of weeks. My parents have property up in the mountains in Utah, and I just love it there. It's so peaceful, and I feel so inspired and motivated when I go up there. I decided, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks, and I'm going to go up there by myself, not having to take care of anybody else, not having any other responsibilities, and just go up there and focus on my business. I did that, and I was very committed to doing this and going alone. I didn't even want to take the dog to have to take care of the dog, which caused a little bit of ruffled feathers in my home, and it sort of brought some things to the surface that we needed to talk about. Sometimes you shake things up and it brings things to the surface that are lying underneath. And we talked about some things that hadn't been communicated on both sides. And it was actually better because we got those things out in the open and they weren't just in the back of our minds. Or, I don't even think we knew that they hadn't been communicated. But sometimes just making a change like that, following your heart, doing what your instinct and intuition and your gut tells you to do, can bring things into alignment that are maybe a little bit out of whack. That's my recent story about changing up environments. That said, you probably want to know, what the heck are these environments anyway? So I talked about the physical environment. That's actually the first category. So the other categories, so you have the physical environment, your physical body, your social environment, your mental environment, and then another one that I call discovery environment. So let me talk about each one of those individually and how you can adapt to them and why they're important. So your physical environment is the physical space that you're in. It has a lot to do with your happiness. Does it feel good? Is it cluttered or is it uncluttered? Is it organized or is it disorganized? If you have a lot of chaos in your physical space, that's like constant input. You're constantly seeing that, and it is creating chaos in your mind. You're taking in this visual clutter. It's going into your mind, and it creates kind of this chaos or blocked feeling. If you have like a nice open space, it's clear of clutter, it kind of feels like you can breathe, It's light and airy. And everyone has different preferences of what makes them feel good as far as colors, as far as like the vibe that you have in your space. I actually kind of like a more funky, artsy, mixed with modern feel. So sometimes you're living with someone else and you can't necessarily have exactly what you want because that doesn't fit for them. So you have to kind of work together with the people you're sharing your physical space in and find something that works for both of you or all of you. Definitely clutter is a big deal. Even if the vibe isn't quite what you love, then you can get that open, airy feeling by just getting rid of the clutter, making sure things are organized, things are easy to find, because you don't want to be spending energy looking for stuff that you just can't find. Instead, you're spending your energy focused on going after what you want or creating experiences or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of wasted time looking for stuff when you're disorganized. So get your physical space organized, uncluttered, get rid of stuff that you're not using, get rid of stuff that you don't love, get rid of stuff that's broken. The other part of your physical environment is your physical body. Your body is your vehicle that you're going through life in. So you want to make sure that you're fueling it properly so that you have energy, so that you feel good, so that you can go after what you want. Your physical health can actually affect your own happiness and your stress levels and all of that. So if you're getting enough exercise and you're eating healthy, that can help you in lots of ways. It's supporting you in moving forward and enjoying the journey along the way. If you're tired and you feel like, oh, I just don't have the energy to do anything, go for a walk and see how that changes. Even if it's a little short walk, you're going to get your body feeling more energetic. The next environment is your social environment, and that's just the people around you, the people that you surround yourself with, whether it's coworkers, your family, your friends, all of that. Some of those people might be working against you creating the life that you really want. Maybe you have complainers in your circle or someone with drama, and maybe you want to limit your exposure to them, or even just do what you can to help lift them up. But don't put too much energy on that, because they are where they are and you're not necessarily going to change them. Maybe they're trying to change you. Maybe they're putting those expectations on you that we have that isn't really what you want, and you feel like you're constantly butting heads with somebody because they think that you should be moving in this direction, and what you really want is you want to move in this direction. Every situation is different. It's not necessarily about deleting people from your life. There might be cases where you do need to do that, but I'm honestly not a big fan of that. I actually spent about 8 years not speaking with my dad, and I would take those 8 years back now because he's gone now. Things were better later. That was when I was younger, but I'm not a big fan of deleting people from your life because you can't get that time back. So just really consider if that's what you need to do, and in some cases you do need to do that. If you have someone who's being abusive to you, then, you definitely need to get yourself out of that situation. That's kind of the big one, I think. That's sort of a no-brainer where it's like, that's not good. If it's sucking your energy, limit your time with them. It doesn't mean you have to cut them off completely. The big thing here with the social environment is to add people to your life that are going to help propel you forward, that inspire you, that motivate you, that you enjoy being around. Let's say you want to hike more, join a hiking club, and then you're going to meet people who are like-minded. So add people like that to your life when the opportunity arises, and create opportunities to do that. So that's how you can impact your social environment. Then you have your mental environment, which is really about the knowledge that you have, the kind of books that you consume. If you just sit around watching a lot of mindless TV, maybe that's not the best for your mental environment. Okay, I like watching documentaries so I can learn about new things, and I like to read. I actually used to read a lot of fiction books when I was younger, but I haven't read a fiction book in a really, really long time. So there's a lot of different ways that you can feed your mental environment too. If you're not big into reading, you don't have to read. You can listen to audiobooks, you can watch videos, you can find movies, or even just take classes, things like that, which kind of ties into the next environment, which is a discovery environment. It's to put yourself in situations where you can learn and have new experiences. So to me, it's really more about getting out of your comfort zone to create new experiences for yourself so that you can learn and grow in that way. So what kind of environments can you put yourself into so that you can learn something new by experiencing it, or create a new experience for yourself? Even that situation where I decided to take 2 weeks for myself, that was kind of a discovery environment, because I was discovering if being alone for a couple of weeks what would that do for me? Like, what would I get out of that? And it was creating a new experience for me, something I hadn't really done before. So think about what you can do. think about a goal that you have and what can you do to create a discovery environment for yourself and learn something new, create a new experience for yourself that would actually propel you towards that goal more quickly. One of my favorite sayings has always been to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because a lot of us avoid things that make us uncomfortable. We just don't do it. I've been there. I was terrified of public speaking. I took an F in an 8th grade English class because we were supposed to give 3 speeches. I gave 1. I wasn't doing the other 2. I was not comfortable being uncomfortable. And I have since evolved to the point where I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Not always. It's not perfect. No one's perfect. There's no perfect finish line. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody, I promise you. No matter how great it looks on the outside, everyone has self-doubt sometimes. Everyone has stuff that just isn't all worked out. But that's okay. That's part of life, it's part of the journey, and it's part of being real. So those are the environments, and you can really do a lot with those. If you just look at the categories and think about different areas of your life that you can fit into each category and that you can adjust to make getting your goals easier, I think you'll come up with lots of ideas. And if you need support with that, I want to support you. So I have a free experience that I'm offering. It is a 5-day challenge, the 5-day Extraordinary Life Blueprint Challenge, where we will create your very own custom, unique, extraordinary life blueprint. It's beyond goal setting, and it helps you set heart-aligned goals, and it looks at the whole big picture of your whole life and creates a blueprint draft and then what to focus on first. So we're going to be doing part of that during the 5-day challenge. And I want to make it super easy for you to participate. So it would take 30 minutes or less each day between watching the training video and then doing the exercises to move you forward, so that at the end of the 5 days, you actually have a draft of your own Extraordinary Life Blueprint. So join me for that. Go to wildsavvy.com/ELBP 5-day, the letter 5, not letter, 5's not a letter, the number 5 day. All right, I'll include the link in the description. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, spread the love, share it with your friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic day. Much love.